Number 5, Tatiana Golovin. She has been called the French Kournikova, so we all know what to expect from her. Of course, she's from Russian extraction as well, so the Russians certainly know something about how to produce hot tennis players. Number 4, Maria Kirilenko. Yet another Russian, a 19-year-old, and best friend of Sharapova, so they see a lot of each other on tour, and I think have played doubles together as well. And yet another rival for Sharapova's crown, so we'll see what happens. Number 3, Daniela Hantuchova. She won this list, I think, 3 years ago, so who knows, she might be a winner again when we do the list again next year. And the runner-up in our list at number 2, Ivanovic, who's from Serbia. Now, we know, because we've been speaking to her, that she doesn't want to be seen as the sexiest tennis player on the tour, although I think her agents won't be too unhappy with her being runner-up. Very, very pretty looking girl, and one of the nicest people on the tour. And our 2006 hot list, and winner last year as well, Maria Sharapova. What can you say? She is undoubtedly the most striking player on the tour at the moment.
Sharapova has held on to her sex appeal, but can she hold on to her game? In the face of fame and fortune, every win is celebrated. Every loss, with the next poster girl waiting anxiously in line, there is little room for error.
What you gonna do with all that junk inside your trunk? Get you love drunk off my hump, 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 my lovely little lumps. Check it out. I drive these fuckers crazy.
Sharapova follows in a long line of gifted players who have turned a previously male-dominated sport on it. Today, women's tennis is now more popular than ever, and it's dripping with promise. Whether that promise is strong, sultry or sweet, it's no wonder that this sex continues to sell. But at what cost?
You have to ask yourself whether women athletes nowadays can be called liberated in any sense at all. The sprats have turned out to be being run by someone.
It's not a bad thing to sort of highlight the gorgeousness of the women that are out there playing the game today. Now you just have this bank of Russian beauties that they just keep on churning them out. Every year there's sort of 3 or 4 more that are 6'2" with the longest legs you've ever seen, and beautiful hair and amazing flawless skin and stunning.
Happening now is that sort of femininity is giving way to far more outrageous sex and sex appeal. I mean, it's every man's fantasy, this legs up to here and long blonde hair and smacking a ball around and grunting in a semi-sexual fashion.
You can watch tennis 24 hours a day if you want to. It's that accessible. Again, you can just go onto the web, you can do Google searches for probably a woman that's ranked 1,000 in the world, and there'll be pictures of her on the web. It's expanded like that. I think that the press coverage has expanded as well. Some women would probably say for the worse as far as the press is concerned, but it does spread the word of tennis, which is what everybody wants.
Remember that women didn't devise the game of tennis. Women didn't devise any game. And there's a truth in that. You know, that women are workers, they're not players. And when they play a game, they'll turn it into work.
It's a different game, and one that has developed beyond perhaps the Tea Party image that we remember from tennis of some years back. There seemed to be a slightly more condescending way of looking at the players. Now, I think the players are much more confident about their image now, know how to use it, and know how to combine it with their tennis playing abilities.
I think they have to exploit it to the maximum potential, because it is something that's working in their favour, especially if they've got just about the frocks, but they're about the shots as well. So you have to have players that are both, that are the real deal, but also live up to the hype.
They now have so many people dependent on them, not just trainers. And they know that they've got to perform. They are like racehorses. You know, they are, athletes are properties, and people dispose of them in that way.
The real tabloidisation of it, if you've almost gone so far, there's nothing more to do really. The scandal, the sex stories have opened up. Maybe if someone had a bit of sex on court, under the covers when they came off from the rain and suddenly there were two people embroiled doing something. I think that would probably be the only thing. I think everything's been done in terms of that, and I think, you know, without being funny, we're back to the tennis, which is maybe not such a bad thing,